what don't we think about Jambé? That'd be I think that this actually is the most contemporary, most succinct version of hand percussion in electronic form.
He stole my line. It's very, very good, very well thought out. The possibilities are kind of amazing and very exciting. And I appreciate how much work has gone into it, even at this early point. You've already worked through lots of issues. So, congratulations. Supremely responsive. Very dynamic. Y'all have worked out the bounce. This is quite amazing. The feel. Yeah.
I think it's obvious that it's built on all its predecessors, all the rolling stuff, all the stuff that's come before, sticks on triggers, even Zen drum, I would say, piezios and all this. And I think the major point of excellence is that it's FSR, so you're not going to have any mistriggering, and I think it is absolutely the most advanced and best form of triggering. So I think that right there is the best representation of something you can play with your hands and with your sticks that exists. And it seems to me that the developers behind this are really, really set on moving it forward and being a contemporary instrument and being a player for a long time to come. I think because it's flash, it loads right away. So that's an immediate bonus for any player and for anybody considering doing looping and that sort of thing, being able to change kits or patches fast. I have to say that at first I didn't think it was going to be as effective as it is. I've seen other versions by unnamed companies that didn't follow through in what I would say is the full user experience. So I think this is definitely the best representation I've seen thus far. And I think, like I said, with the flash aspect, sky's the limit.
Fast, easy, clear, yeah.
It's a strong contender for my new main instrument, I have to say. For me, it's really, I would consider using 2 and have a full 24 triggers and possibly some foot pedal action happening. I could absolutely see looping this. I could see writing MIDI with this. I can see accompanying with this. I can see playing melodically with this. So for me, I already use a controller, handheld controller, and for me, I could see this as a direct replacement for pretty much everything I'm doing, which is pretty major.
Great for gigs and practice, live. At this moment, my focus is on music for visual media, commercials, soundtracks, things like that. And this would be, immediately useful and fun, and would be a source of lots of fresh ideas and things I've been doing forever that I cannot do with another interface. So, yeah.
I.e. sit on the ground.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it already is shaped like the traditional drum and sort of the iconic drum shape. But I honestly, like I told John, I've been becoming more and more comfortable with the feeling of it. The more I'm around it, and the more I look at it. So at first, it was a little bit alien to me. The shape was there, the wood was there. It's light enough to hold it, like we were saying here. Like this, you could put it in your lap, you can sit on the floor. I mean, those are things that are unheard of with electronic controllers at this point in a lot of ways. But for me, it's more about the fact that they thought about the fact that this is an actual membrane here, so it's all sitting on. So it's as close as I've ever seen to the actual experience of playing something that's actually a membrane. So other than that, I mean, it's my first introduction to it, so I'm going to find more and more things about it, but I already can feel how deep it can go. So for me, it's as engaging as a frame drum would be, or as any kind of membrane would be with a stick or hands.
I agree. The wood, the feel, the shape, the size, everything about it is immediately inviting to anyone who's ever played percussion or even thought about picking up a drum. That's all very well thought out. So then you get to think of the amazing other possibilities that happen. But just as a starter, just from the first moment, it's very inviting. It feels good, and it's the right weight, the wood, the bounce, everything about it works.
In this context, I think it either works. I even am finding that sticks and hands can work.
Yeah.
A lot. So I don't. The sticks are still a little. It doesn't give quite as much as a membrane would or as a snare drum would or something like that. So I'm still working against that a little bit. But I gotta say that they're both really effective, and the fact that you can do them both at the same time is also. It's much more like a drum in that way, where you can place your hand and use it in other ways. So, yeah, I just look forward to spending more time with it. I can maybe answer that later, but I don't have a preference at this point. It's amazing you can use both.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's a huge thing, and it's made in USA, so come on.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah. Huge, huge point. No, we were not paid for this endorsement. We got to play them, which is a great pleasure. So.
I might start by mentioning other things and say, it's like that, but better. It's like that other thing,
but better.
But better. It's got the best parts of that thing and that thing. Just imagine if they were put together.
I see.
Yeah.
And then I'd
mention names.
This very traditional shape. Like I said, this is immediately welcoming. The feel and the shape and the weight and everything about it is immediately welcoming. And then after that, yeah, all sorts of amazing possibilities.
I would say, yeah, that you can directly utilize any kind of hand percussion techniques immediately, which I think to hand percussionists has been kind of an uphill battle for a long time. So I would say that this is like as close as we've gotten thus far in the 21st century, whatever you want to call it, to simulating what it feels like to actually play any kind of hand percussion. And the fact that you can just use this once you learn this technique, then you can spread it across all sorts of melodic percussion and everything else. It gets, it gives you the best of all the digital world plus analog technique. So if I would say to my hand drummer friends or colleagues that if you're looking to get into triggering electronically or working with MIDI or writing with MIDI, which if you aren't already doing it, it's kind of an archaic practice, I would say this is the best gateway for any frame drummer or any hand percussionist. And plus, you're basically in a situation where you can be mobile with an iPad and a pair of headphones and practicing. So that's a whole nother layer, is just in terms of a practice tool for anyone. Right. Child up to a grown person. You have a whole drum kit right here,
That's a big deal as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And the fact that you guys are the kind of people who would constantly be listening, tweaking, trying, improving, that's huge.
And the fact that we could just send an update.
That's right.
iPad.
Yeah.
Massive.
Because I think you really dialed in this interface. So from here on out, it's just the software updates, the tweaking, the coding. Yeah.
Anybody who has an iPad can do that.
Yeah.
But we already, like even at this ground floor, we're feeling the feedback loop already happening. So
which is super
that's a
cool.
huge thing I don't think anybody else can really speak to. I mean, the fact that here we are, this is a point where it's utilizable right now, but that everyone involved is interested in taking it further and making it better and continuing to enhance it. I'm in. There it is. No pain, no nothing. Had no ill effects of any kind. And I would argue that I've had that in the past playing that long on electronic controllers. And actually, every time I come back now, I'm staring, I want to play it. It's like it keeps inviting me in to continue to experiment, to continue to get better at it, to continue to commune with it. I see ya.